Hey, everybody. Long time no talk. I'm not going to be on here for too long. I'm like super tired, guys, and I just didn't want to cancel again. I'm like swamped with schoolwork because I've been procrastinating like usual, and it's not working out for me very well. So I'm going to be on here for a little bit because there are a few things I wanted to talk about, but not too long. This might be one that's under an hour. But I feel like, as long as I stop by to say hello, I'll probably be on tomorrow, but it won't be till late if I go on at all. I hope I do, though. So I hope everybody is having a nice, today's Saturday, right? Yes, Saturday. It was super nice here today. It was like 60 degrees and sunny. It was really nice. I went for a walk. Hey, Nat. Oh, I should say hi to everybody too. My bad. How rude of me. Hi, Nat. Hi, Abby, Rody Gal, Mike, Liberty. I'm sure there's. Let me see if there's anybody else here. And Michelle, of course. So hello, everybody. I hope everybody is having a nice Saturday and a nice evening or wherever you happen to be. Yeah, so I don't know if any of you saw, but I did finally get my community tab. So thank you all so very much. That was my first goal of being on here, and I have now met that goal. So now it's time to make the next one. And that's really awesome. I'm very happy about that. That means I can just, get a sense of what you guys want to talk about. We can interact more. I think it's a really nice tool to, if you're looking to build a community on here. So hopefully I don't bother you guys too much. But I think it's a tool and a way to interact on social media that I'm familiar with. So, oh, cold Earthbound Spirit. No, that's not good. No heat. Yikes. That's the worst. I've had that happen before, and I'd almost rather be too cold than too hot, but I know how that can get. I had an apartment like that, my first apartment on my own, and you couldn't control the thermostat at all, and the landlord it was awful. It was really bad. I mean, but you get what you pay for, right? So, I mean, the same apartment that I rented then is now renting for like $1,000 a month, everything included. When I was there, it was $700 a month, everything included. So not a bad deal, not in a bad neighborhood either. So I mean, but you get what you pay for. Yeah. So yeah, today was really nice here. And I'm sorry for everybody who's cold. Yeah, it was hot. I had the windows open, but then tomorrow it's back down to 38 degrees. So New England weather never makes sense. But I guess it's supposed to be in the 50s for a few days later this week. So, as I've always said, sunshine is the best antidepressant. So, I will be out there walking and doing that because I've been feeling kind of down lately. I feel like a lot of us have felt kind of down. I don't know if it's like the winter, I don't know if it's the weather, maybe it's a little bit of YouTube. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry, Earthbound Spirit. That sucks. Hey, Ariana. Oh, that are you like are you in a state that's like super cold? I'm imagining that you are, considering if it's really, you're saying it's really cold. But I know like when I have family in Florida, and when they come up here, they're like, wearing a jacket when it's like 85 degrees, and I'm like, okay. Oh yes, it's supposed to snow tomorrow, Rhoda Gal. Of course it is. Of course it is. Rhoda, is it supposed to be a lot? Because if it is, I'm gonna like, go hide under a blanket and not come out. But yeah, so I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I wanted to make sure I came on here and do that because creators wouldn't be at all really successful. It's it's a little bit of what you have to offer, but a lot of it is like the people that come to support you and the environment that you guys help create. So you guys, I mean, none of this would be possible without you guys, and I want subs to remember that. Like, ultimately, YouTube's there, but like, the subs are what matter, and the subs are kind of your boss. So like, you guys have that power. If you want to see something different, if you want to, like, that is it. You have every right to ask for it. I'm not talking about in this community. I'm just saying wherever you go. If hold on, wait, you spent 12 hours. Oh, yeah, that was Coventry High. I thought that looked familiar. When I used to work at group homes, that was the high school that the boys went to. I was like, I know that looks familiar. Oh, you did? See, all these Rhode Island people. Now I have to meet up with you guys. But yes, so yeah, crazy night. So what did I want to talk about? There was a few things. Oh, in Colorado. Yeah, that can get cold. I've always wanted to go to Colorado. Colorado is like one of my bucket list states, believe it or not. I've never been. I've been to pretty much every state on either coast, but I've never been to Colorado, and I would like to. Um, I think like I've seen parts of it are really, really pretty, and there's some stuff I'd like to visit there, and I'm not talking about true crime related. So that's another thing on here. So yes, let's see. What did I want to discuss tonight? I wanted to discuss a few things. I don't want to be super negative because I'm trying to stay in a good mood tonight. I just wanted to point out that, there are still a bunch of behaviors going on that I'm not pleased with. However, I'm going to let that go for just right now, for one reason and one reason only, because there's a rabbit hole I kind of want to go down with you guys. In that rabbit hole, I might regret saying this. I might regret it. I don't think I'm going to, though. I had, I do. You're going for the green net? Yeah. Well, I live next door to Massachusetts, so, I live very close to the border. So, yeah, Massachusetts isn't bad either. But I've heard Colorado's got it on lock. So, if you're into that kind of stuff anyway. But yeah, so I had no idea. Even someone who does social media, like I had heard rumors of it, right? So I didn't know that this was actually a thing. Now, I had no idea that you could actually buy subs. And I have heard, like, that phrase going around over the weekend, and at first I was like, okay, well, it's got to be bots, right? It's got to be bots. So that's not going to work. And because I'd heard of that, I'd heard of people doing it. I would never do that because that's cheating, guys. And that's not what I'm into. Like, you got to do the work, but it gets better, guys. It gets better. So I did some research on what one would do, what options are out there for people if they're looking to cheat and buy their subscribers. And let me tell you guys, I found some interesting things. So I had no idea. So yes, right. Well, Liberty, let me tell you, that's not far off. I'm dying, guys. So I'm gonna regret saying this. I shouldn't be laughing. But it is funny. I mean, come on. So I was looking at this. So, right, I thought it had to be bots, right? And you have to be really careful with that because YouTube is going to pick up on the bots. YouTube is going to clear that out pretty quickly. That is a huge financial gamble if you want to buy bots, especially from some of these shady sites. I mean, because from my research, and that's what I always thought. I was like, who would do that? Who would risk, any of that? But it gets better, guys. So not only can you buy bots, you can actually buy real subs. And how that works, guys, is you could actually get paid to go subscribe to somebody's channel and hop in their chat and participate. And I was like, oh my God, no. And I was like, oh my God, everything makes sense now. Everything makes sense. Because I've been in a few chats lately, just looking, not even ones I subscribe to, really. And I was like, why is what people talking about so weird? Like, it felt off and weird. And now I know why. Yes, you can get paid to go and subscribe to people you don't know who pay to do it and basically tell them they're pretty. Exactly. Yes. So you can do that. It's not bots, it's real people. And right, I get, yeah, Earthbound, that's what I'm saying. Like, and the marketing that they're using for it is really, really interesting because as somebody who does marketing, I was like, how could they pitch this in a way that doesn't sound awful? And they do. So they were like, basically the gist of the marketing was, when your voice on YouTube is more important than having to do the work and build your channel. If you have a message, you deserve to be able to get it out right now. Just basically saying that your whatever you have to say is more important than everybody who's done all of their work. And if you buy these, you'll be able to, get it was like you'll be able to, get there that much sooner. And that, what, guys, that actually is kind of legit because now there's no those sites that I found, there was no money back guarantee. So you are taking a gamble because that person, even though they get paid up front, like there's a lot of them don't have like a refund policy. So if that person chooses to unsubscribe, I don't really know how that works. But yes, And then I was thinking about it and I'm like, that probably would work if it's not bots. Like YouTube will pick up on bots, but if it's real people and you're getting real interaction, but it's expensive, guys. So I was looking at it and I was like, did they? I don't know about that, Karen. I'm not. I like Unmasked, but I don't really know about all the stuff that people have said about that. But right, oh, I should have taken screenshots. Why didn't I? Yeah, Earthbound Spirit. I know. What a way to make money, right? But I didn't know it was a thing. I figured it was bots. So if you're gonna buy bots, like that's really stupid, guys. Like that's really stupid because let me tell you, YouTube, they're pretty good about getting rid of them. That's actually why my sub count fluctuates the way it does, is because there are bots that'll go, and I found that out. So I'm not gonna take it personally anymore because it's not me, it's YouTube. Get it? No, I'm kidding. So yeah, I get Liberty. I'm telling you, I'm gonna get all the information. I just found this because I had just it just sparked my interest because I'm like, because I'm not gonna say the person's name because I just don't want to go there, but I was looking just because it came up in my suggested, and the live was going on. So I clicked on it, and I was looking in the chat, and some of it was so bizarre and off topic, and some of it wasn't even in English. So I was like, what is going on? And hi, Amber. Hi, Brittany. So I was looking at that and I was like, okay, so now it makes sense, guys. So if you want to pay for the pricier way of doing this, right? I wonder if they pay extra to wrench. Probably. Like, you can literally buy real people to go and pretend that they like you. And that just blows my mind. But now a lot of stuff makes sense. So yes, you are technically getting the watch time. You are, because it's a real person, a real account. So you are technically getting watch time. You're technically having a subscriber. So when YouTube does these sweeps, I mean, by all means, you probably could monetize on that. I mean, I don't think their BS alert would be, but I mean, obviously it's not a surefire thing. They have some like small print clauses that like, if the person decides that they don't want to sub to you anymore, like there's no refunds or what was it? Refills. I'm sorry. The word they used was refills. Doesn't it, Liberty? Doesn't it? I'll send you the link. I'll send you where I like was looking. You're going to love it. I wish I had like put it on here so I could show you guys. Hey, Gladys. So, but the problem is, guys, it is really expensive. So I'm confused as to, why someone would pay that much. I mean, you know what I mean? But then they said it's an investment. They literally market it as, well, it's an investment now, but you'll be seeing a return faster than you would if you didn't buy them. I hope so, Earthbound Spirit. But for everything that they catch up on, there's going to be somebody right behind them figuring out how to do it because it's a money-making scheme. I mean, ultimately, they're probably making a profit. Why there was no reason for them to do it other if they're making a profit. And it depends. You can buy quality subs, guys, too. So lower quality, who are, not obligated to interact as much, are cheaper than ones. It's bizarre. I was like, what rabbit hole did I just go down? But yeah, a lot of stuff makes sense now, right? Because I had always heard people saying about buying subs, and I was like, how can you buy subs? It's got to be bots. You can't force people. But I've always had a theory about that, though, that they could like forcibly sub you, because I've gone through my subscriptions from time to time, and I'm subscribed to like channels that I have no interest in and would never have interest in, and I've had to manually unsubscribe. But that's a little different than, where do you submit your application? Michelle, I can point you in that direction. I mean, if you've got time and you want to yeah, kid who talks about like us. If you've got the time and you want to you pretend that you like people, I guess, and do that interaction, you got to like their stuff, you got to comment, and there's different tiers of quality subs. It is against terms of service, yes. But they do explain on one of these sites how you can get around that, but technically it's in the small print that it could possibly be against terms of service. No, it's wrong, guys. You should not be doing that. It's cheating. And I strongly believe that cheating will finally catch up to people eventually. And what's the fun in that, guys? You want to build a channel. You want to, oh, Brent, I don't think I said hello to you. I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep up with everybody, but, yeah, professional sub on YouTube. It just reminds, oh God. Yeah, so there's like, Yeah, hazard pay to be there would be need to be hazard pay to go in some of these chats. You're right, Michelle. You're right. Yeah, it is especially bad, Liberty. That's right. That's right. So I had no idea about that, Karen. I don't know about buying subs. I've never looked into it. That's not really my style. I like to build things. I like to I like to work to things. I like to earn things. So I've always heard that being talked about. I've been in social media, but I always assumed it was bots, which is a really, really stupid investment. Bots are really unpredictable, unreliable, and YouTube is pretty good about taking those down pretty fast. But if it's real people, like what? Yeah, I'm not buying subs, guys. Not gonna happen. I don't, and you can tell when people are doing it. I mean, some people just tell you that they're doing it out loud. Like some people, some, yes, Amber. Doesn't it make sense now? I was like, oh my God, this is my aha moment. Like, I get it now. And sometimes if the channel's already successful and I mean, sometimes there's like sneaky ways to do it. I wouldn't be surprised, Karen. I wouldn't be surprised. The bots didn't look too expensive, so it wouldn't surprise me if people were doing that. Now and then you have like 3 tier qualities of the live subs. So I don't know how you apply to it, but there was like a couple companies that I found, but everything does make sense now, right? And I was like, I can't. Like, oh my God, it just opened this whole new world of just nonsense on here. But you can usually tell when that's happening, guys. At least from what I've seen, because half the time they don't even know the topic that the creator is talking about. So they'll go in there and they'll be talking about like whatever, or sometimes they're not even in the country, so they'll go in there speaking whatever language they speak. Right, Liberty, but that was what I was trying to figure out, Liberty, was how are they in the chat? That's what I was trying. I think that she's modded some of them too. And I'm like, oh my God. All right, I shouldn't say this. Oh, the Nemesis did too? Of course. Why do any of those tiers allow for, well, Gladys, I'm not sure if those might be like actual people though, Gladys. I mean, I'm not saying everybody that's in that chat or any chat is not somebody that's from this community. I would hope that they're not allowed to do that, but I didn't watch the whole thing. So if you saw something that I didn't like, that's awful. They should be fired immediately for saying stuff like that. That is not, yeah, you can usually, a lot of the time though, you can tell when things have been done. Yeah, you're right, Karen. I'll give you that. You're right. That can mean a couple different things, but that definitely means that you're not doing something right if that's the case. Like, I have a few people in here, but my analytics aren't bad. I have a lot going for me on here, so I'm not unhappy. I think my channel is doing great. So, I'm happy with everything going on. But you can, if you see a channel that has like a really, because how they marketed it, guys, was they said, you want your channel to look legit. Statistically, subscribers are more likely to click on, a video that has more views or, a channel that actually has, a large amount of subscribers because they think it's more legitimate, which actually, when I'm going back and thinking about how I think of things, it's not wrong. They're not wrong there. It's true. If I see one video has like 160,000 views on it, I'm going to go with that one over something that's like, 7,000 views, because that means it's more important in our minds subconsciously somewhere. But yes, what question about, next question is, would you block subs that you bought? I don't know, guys. I feel like I'm just like scratching the surface of this like whole thing that I'm going to go down on here. And some of it's on the dark web. I fortunately have a little bit of experience venturing onto that just for I don't know, curiosity's sake. I don't go to the deep dark, or I don't know, whatever the first level is. I've done that before. But you didn't actually have to do that to find some of these places. It took a little bit of digging to find some, but I was like, oh my God, it all makes sense now. So really they are real people. Yeah, the dark web is scary. I forget which one is like the lesser, if it's the dark or the deep. Whatever that one is the one that I've ventured on, but I haven't seen anything like you've heard about. I've never seen anything like that, but I literally did it like, a handful of times just to see, because I had heard so many things. Um, yeah, well, that's true. I think that that's true too. Yeah. I if that's the thing, guys. That's cheating. That's not doing the work. Like channels aren't supposed to. Yes, YouTube is dark enough, Liberty. You're so right. Um, like that's kind of, I get that people want interaction, but like if it's not real, is it really worth it? Like, my channel's small. I've been, I grow, but I'm not. I, I think YouTube projects me to hit 1,000 in April. So at the rate that I'm going, given my statistics, I already have over half of what my watch time needs to be. So I'm getting there, guys. But it takes a while. It takes hard work. You have to be putting out videos. You have to be coming on here. You have to grow an audience that actually. Yep, right, Cheryl. You are spot on. Yes, yes, yes. Because I was looking at that and I was like, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. And I mean, it came out of her own mouth, but I'm like, I thought it was bots. I was like, there's no way that it's real people, and I was just surprised. In fact, I think I mentioned that to Rody Gal last night. I'm like, what is wrong with the world? Like, I don't understand. Sorry, I'm getting a kick out of this, guys. I'm really sorry. And I feel bad. I really feel bad. Like I have mentioned that is one thing I don't want. But we're going to talk about this. I don't have to say names. I don't have to say names because I'm sure it goes on many places. I'm sure it is not limited to just one person. But this is just what sparked my interest in it. It really makes you right. It does allegedly with Britney. I get that. Yeah. And sometimes Social Blade doesn't even pick up on it. I've heard a lot of people are told that, Social Blade is a good way to look to see if people are doing that. But I checked on a few things. It's not. It's not. Well, Karen, I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't go into that. So I am, right now I don't go on that channel. So I don't know if who else has bought subs or has been speculated to buy subs. I've heard that term thrown around at a lot of people. I don't know about that. But like I said, guys, I'm just speaking about what I saw. And I'm not hating on anybody, Karen. I'm not hating on anybody. I'm just talking about how it's interesting and it's kind of bizarre and it was kind of funny. It was. Yeah, Social Blade isn't accurate. Not really anyway. But I mean, yeah, it's okay. It's not great at because if I actually took a look at, just out of curiosity, I took a look at really Nightbot is provided by StreamYard. I was always wondering about that. I was wondering if that was like a paid service or if that was like what that was. I mean, obviously I don't need a bot in here. That's what I'm saying. Liberty. I'm telling you, Rody Gal. Well, I'm not going after Karen. I'm going to let you know right now. I have been the one person who, I don't know if you've listened to my other lives. I have been very outspoken about the fact that I'm not making fun of anybody, and I refuse to do that. I'm allowed to talk about things that are going on, though, and I don't have to say names. I've seen it. I don't know. I don't go onto other people's channels very often. It happened to come up in my about or suggested, so that's why I went and looked. Had I been in another, I don't go into a lot of chats, guys. I just don't. So, I don't even think I'm subscribed to Unmasked. I think I've watched some of their stuff at one point, but I don't know. I don't know, guys. So I'm not going to speak on like things I haven't seen. That's not healthy. That's, and you're entitled to that opinion, Karen. Like you're entitled to your opinion. I'm not familiar enough, and I'm not going to speak on things that I hear either secondhand or haven't seen, because that's how stuff gets started. I mean, I'm not saying that you haven't seen whatever you've seen that makes you believe that. Not what I'm saying. You're entitled to your opinion. I think it probably is pretty rampant. I'm sure people do it, and the way that they market it too, though, is it makes it sound like it's like a legit business investment. So even I was like, okay, the way that this is written makes sense. I try not to have any bias, guys. I really don't. And I literally have, yeah. Well, I've been very outspoken about how I feel about certain things, and I think I've been one of the only people who has done that. So I'm just talking about that in general, guys. But they market it like it's a business investment. So you pay this money now for whatever number of subs, and they're different quality subs. Oh God, I wish I kept the screen up. I would read it to you guys. I'll do that next time. But it's varying prices, but it makes it sound like, you want to get started now. You have a business and you want to promote your business now. And yeah, well, that's the thing, Liberty Farmer. When would you possibly? Well, it depends how many you buy. And they don't just give it to you all at once. It kind of is staggered. So that's why I'm saying it fools Social Blade. They know about that. I don't either, Karen. I don't either. But yeah, that's why I think when you look at Social Blade, it's hard to tell, because they'll kind of, it's like, Ticketmaster with tickets. They little bursts of tickets, or subs. And they literally call, they're in the fine print, it said no refills. And I was like, excuse me, people are refills now? But it's something, guys. And I feel, I can see how somebody might read that and be like, okay, well, it's a business investment. So especially if that you have, I don't know what situation. I don't know if you're under, because technically, you're running a risk if you're going to do that and try and get monetized. You're definitely running a risk. But if you're able to get that engagement, that watch time, and real subs, then you might be able to sneak by that. And if after you're monetized, I feel like that's even less chances of getting caught doing that. So I can see that a lot of people probably do. I've thought that too. I've actually thought that about a lot of creators that I've watched. I'm like, you know what, this isn't that great. I don't know how so many people like this. But then I just think to myself, who am I to judge? Because maybe they do. Thank you, Cheryl. Hi, Golden. Hi, Judy. So then I kind of question myself, but that's what it said. It's like, people subconsciously, they're going to click on the video that has the most views. They're going to, determine legitimacy of a channel based on sub count. And then I was thinking about it and I'm like, I do that. I definitely do that. So that makes sense. So if you're a business and you have a message or whatever, I can see how they could market that to somebody who would see that as an opportunity. Now, what the purpose is after you've been monetized, I'm not sure. Yeah, shrewd timing. I agree. I think. But after you're monetized, I haven't quite figured out what the purpose is. I'm not very familiar with YouTube. So if somebody knows, then let me know. But I'm not sure. After you get monetized, is it by your views and stuff that you get paid? Because that I would understand why. Because it's not like these people are going to super chat you. Hey, Lindsay. I don't think these people, I don't know if that's the VIP supreme tier of subs, but I don't think that they so if it's done by that, then I can see why somebody would want to do that. But the only other reason I can see after you're monetized is to boost the look and legitimacy of your channel. But that's the only thing I can think of for that. But I'm also not sure about how that works. I haven't investigated it. Obviously, I'm not going to be monetized for quite some time, if I ever do. And I haven't even looked into that. I know that it's pennies. I know that it's not much, but I haven't quite figured it out yet. Memberships. Okay. But these people, maybe you can pay for them to be members. I'm going to have to do some digging. I didn't look into the tiers that much. So, I don't know, Gladys. I'm going to look into it, because that would be the only, or else it's for show, which that's a silly way to spend money, on for show. But I don't know. I think people probably do it for a lot of reasons. I think people either don't want to do the work, or because it is work, guys. It is work. It's, it's a fun job, but it's still a job. I didn't actually anticipate. Well, I should have known, because my, Instagram, you're on the webpage, Amber, right? I hope you're on the one that I was on, because it was so enlightening. Because it really opens your eyes to how you really should question a lot of things on here, because I don't think it's unique to one person, and the way that they let you do it. Yeah. But what quality subs are they, Amber? What quality? What tier? because there were several. It was anywhere between like 6 and like or 20 bucks, I think was but that's a lot, but it was like for less. It goes up in price and it depends where you go. Um, yeah, I don't really want, yeah, that's the thing though, guys. Like, I'm not here saying I don't want anybody off of YouTube. That's the one thing that I'm not going to say. I think there's room for everybody. I think we're like a solar system, but I think that people they should question what they see. If you pump enough money into something, it's going to make something look legit. I could put something out right now that looks like it was professionally made if I wanted to, or wanted to pay someone to, you know what I mean? Like, all is not as it seems. Like, it's eye-opening because, if people want you to believe a certain thing, it's very easy, apparently. Yeah, refill guaranteed. Yes. Okay, so you are on, that was the first site I was on. And then I was kind of going deeper down that rabbit hole. And that's where I found like the different, like yeah. I think that there's a lot of crazy stuff happening, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, I think, Karen, I think you have a point. I mean, I like I said, I don't have any insight on that because it's not a channel I really go on. But like I said, I'm not discrediting if you have seen something or you haven't. You are entitled to your opinion. Who am I to say you can't have an opinion? They have guaranteed spell wrong. That's what I'm saying. I don't feel like it's based in the US. I think it's probably based elsewhere. But, or if you look at comments, like on Instagram, you can always tell. You can also pay for the quality of the comments too, which was one of them. Yeah, buying reviews, exactly. Guys, trust nothing. I feel like I'm a cynical person, but as somebody who does business and marketing, this is what I do. Guys, like, you can't trust anything. Companies like, those top 10 videos that you'll see on YouTube, that companies pay channels money to put them in those, listicles is what they're called. You can go on Amazon and a company will pay to have their, when it says Amazon's choice, it's not Amazon's choice. It's the company gave them a bunch of money. Like, guys, it is like, it's bad. It's bad. You can't trust anything anymore. Like, I don't trust anything my eyes see. Yeah, and reviews can be deleted. Everything can be influenced. Like, have you ever gone on an article, you've clicked on something that you think is like a news article, but it's an advertisement in disguise? That's a sneaky one. And all of this is allowed. Like, I feel like it just happens often. I don't want to go into like my views on things because I could go down a whole rabbit hole. But you see it in the news too. Like, there's a narrative that if people want you to believe, and they'll pump that money into having it be that. Yeah, I'm gullible too, Golden, because for the longest time I had no idea until I'm going for my master's in digital marketing, and let me tell you guys, like, I will never trust anything I read ever again on the internet. Never. I think it's kind of obvious, but I think I want to say, yeah, your whole internet life is a lie, Brittany. But that's the thing though, like, even when you see influencers, right? And they're like, oh, this product is great. I promise you they've never used that product. And I've never understood the marketing behind, well, I understand it, but I didn't know anybody was like falling for it. Michelle, I think that might have been a typo. I'm not sure. But it's funny. But yeah, like there's how like, bigger creators will be sponsored. And at the beginning of their video, they're like, today's video is brought to you by like, whatever VPN or whatever. And, click on my link to, get like, I just feel like, and a lot of the creators are really sarcastic about it too. Like, you can tell that they don't give a crap about the product, yet they're getting paid to advertise it. Like, I'm like, does anyone actually click on these things? I hope not. Like, it blows my mind, but apparently people do. I'm not judging you if you do. Like, I've just been very, very jaded with this because I'm learning about how, basically, when you do marketing, you're learning how to manipulate people, but with integrity. So, that's actually one of the names of the books. It's like how to sell, without selling out and things. Like, there's a method to it, but it's crazy. It's crazy. There's just a lot of stuff going on. You got to keep your eyes open. Yeah, they want you to be an ambassador for their company. That's right. That's right. And influencer marketing is like, it's huge right now. And I have to, for my one of my classes, I have to do what is it? I have to launch I don't need to go into it. It's like a fake scenario. I'm launching a pretend more upscale women's clothing line at Walmart because I had to pick between two categories. Like I didn't have a choice. And, I was like that, maybe Walmart, I guess. So I'm going to be using influencer marketing in my plan, but I'm very skeptical of it. I think it's kind of dumb, but I guess younger people, I guess there's a study that says like, kids, I think there was a law that was passed. I don't remember when it was like maybe in the 80s or 90s, maybe before that, their kids ads can only be a certain percentage of the show and they can only be a certain length because kids aren't able to discern an ad from, real, which makes sense. I mean, there's a whole science to it, guys. And a lot of it's like psychologically based, which I find fascinating. So I just thought I was curious as to how it was marketed because the way it's marketed, I can see how they could get people in to think that they're doing something that's okay by buying it. I can definitely see that. I wouldn't trust anything like that. Plus, like, where's the fun in it? Like, if I fail at doing this, I'm not gonna force it. Because if it's not gonna work, it's not gonna work. Yeah, right. These days is other kids playing with toys. That's right. That's right. And there are YouTube channels like that, right? Was it like Ryan's World or something? I saw like a deep dive into. I watch those videos of people that go through the history of other YouTubers. I don't know. I have time on my hands sometimes. So I was watching top tens on like different fast food things lately, and I'm like, how much do you want to bet that they're being paid to include their restaurant in this top 10? Pretty sure, and they don't have to cite it. Not under every circumstance. But you can usually tell if they're using footage from that company and they don't cite it. That usually means that like, they're using it with permission. And that's free advertising, right? Like all of this is free advertising. Guys, awareness channels are technically free advertising. Like I'm reaching people, I mean, maybe reaching people because I use different hashtags. I'm kind of into a different genre, not so much as other people. But if you're speaking somebody's name that, that other genre hasn't heard of, they're going to hear that name and people like to, hate watch or they're curious. So they're going to go right over to whoever you're talking about. But it works both ways. It's like a symbiotic relation or is it symbiotic? I think so. It benefits both parties. So, I mean, I'm just like full of truths. That's all I'm going to talk about. Like I said, guys, I am doing a whole live about the manipulation tactics that can be used here. And I'm not saying that they're always used here. I'm not even talking about things because I did social media. I had a pretty large platform actually when I was on social media and I've seen it. Plus I go to school for this and I don't like the fact that people are manipulated on the internet. It drives me up a wall. Especially during these times, because people are struggling. People are struggling. And I don't like it. A lot of people have their eyes closed a lot of the time. And sometimes I wish I did too. But your husband runs a restaurant and local magazines. Yes, right, Michelle. That's right. Yes. Right. And that's the thing. Like, I always forget I can highlight comments. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you can pay for basically ad space, but it's disguised as like, somebody's actual opinion. So you have to like really read like the article a lot. And sometimes in tiny print, it'll say advertisement, but they make it look like it's a news article. So when people see a news article, they think it's legitimate because especially older people that are used to the news being like not the way it's been lately on social media and so easily it's always been manipulative, but you guys know what I'm trying to say. I think maybe like Gen Z is a little more aware of that, I guess, but I think maybe even I'm a millennial. I mean, I was born in the 80s, but I mean technically that's a millennial. So I guess that I don't know. I guess maybe my generation's a little less jaded too, but a lot of other people, they when they see news, I know like my parents' age, a lot of the time when they see news, like that means news to them. That doesn't mean, advertisement in disguise. It's always been going on though, guys. It's always been going on. What is that? That doesn't look like a fun bot. That bot looks like it's something that people shouldn't click on right there. That's what that is. But yeah. Because I figured, if it was bots, they would just come in and comment stuff like that. But there were people that were like actually having conversations. So it was interesting to me. I was trying to figure it out. Yeah, the Dead Mall series. Yes, I've watched that. It is like retail, guys. I had never gone down the rabbit hole of the metaverse, because I was like, I'm so like very, very skeptical of things like that. You don't like millennials? Oh no, I don't like millennials either. That spirit, I'm telling you, I'm like closer to before that. Like I didn't have internet growing up. I didn't have internet until high school. So I don't think I don't like that I'm lumped into that, but whatever, I guess it is. It is what it is. So, but yeah, the metaverse, like there are people that are literally buying quote unquote real estate in this because the goal of it is to have everybody be online, but have a human feel to it. It's bizarre and it's creepy. They're selling these like buildings and like land that they've built in these cartoon worlds to like Fortune 500 companies for millions of dollars and making real money. It's bizarre, guys. It's bizarre. I have to do some more research into it. I don't know if I'm a fan. I don't know how I feel about it, guys. But it makes sense. It makes sense. I think, with the pandemic and everything, we've all kind of had to figure out how to do things remotely for the most part. I mean, I worked through it, but I mean, everybody, like Second Life Golden. Exactly. I never did Second Life, but I was on something called Cybertown, which was like way early. That was in like the late 90s, I think. And it was similar. It was similar to Second Life, but exactly like Second Life. In fact, the guy who created Second Life is buying into this. So, and he should. Basically, I mean, this is his idea, but something that's going to be way bigger. But people like, there were people that you could go and be, you're in there and you can look at somebody, you have an avatar. So you don't have to look like yourself anymore. You could create however you want to be. And that's how you present yourself. They had these fake like conference rooms. So everybody would be sitting like around a table with each other and you could do like meetings and your face was there and your hands, because you have those Oculus things with your hands. So you could see hand gestures. It's bizarre, guys. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. It was really creepy to me, but I get it. That's where we're going, guys. That's where we're going. But I don't know when, but you're Gen X. Yeah, I thought I was, but I guess I'm not. So unfortunately, here I am. Yeah. I mean, I get you, Karen. I feel that way. I get you. I can't say that I always feel differently. But that's just me personally. I know that that's the way of the future. I get it. I do. I think the world has become a really complicated place. I don't want to talk. I don't want to go down that road with people because I know that there are people that have very, very different views on things. But I think that we can admit that things have gotten very different. And I think a lot of us are skeptical. Right? I think we can. A lot of us can agree with that. Because it's weird to me. I'm always going to want to go to a brick and mortar store. Like I actually had never gotten DoorDash or anything like that until the pandemic. I had never used that. I had no interest in using it. But now it's all I use. I haven't gone to the grocery store in months, maybe a year. I have my groceries delivered because it's really not that more expensive, and gas is really expensive now too. I think it's about where I am. It's like $3.48. I think is the one that I saw today. So, I don't know. I mean, I'll have people I'm lazy. Everyone's lazy now. I'm lazy. Not everybody's lazy. I don't mean that. Yeah. Let's see. You're a half owner of a bar and grill. Yeah. That's right though. That's right. I mean, we're going down the way of the big box retailer, like, Walmart and Amazon, and there's like no room for anything else anymore. I love grocery shopping, or I did, Kellyanne. I did. Um, but I don't know. I think that my anxiety is just like gone way up in the aisles. Like I don't know. There's just too many people. There's too many rules. Too many people. That's just how I've been feeling lately. I used to really like grocery shopping though. I used to. Um, but yeah, I mean, there's like online shopping is like everything now, and it's crazy. It's crazy what we're able to do. Yeah, I think that's actually a big thing, Michelle, is that, the fact that we don't actually see our actual money makes it very easy to spend and not realize you are. That's what I think is dangerous about super chats, guys. I've thought that was kind of dangerous, especially when that button starts lighting up. And they do it for a reason. I mean, it does. It pressures people into paying and paying now, and it's easy to lose track of those things. Yeah. Yeah, I probably should do that, Liberty. I really should. I really, really should. Yeah. I mean, everything's just changed a lot, and I think a lot of it is good change, but a lot of it is kind of scary for me. But to each their own. Yeah, Kellyanne, we can't make everybody happy. I try to make people happy, but I'm not capable of doing that all the time. So it is what it is. But I think we're having an okay conversation. I don't mind our conversation. I think that I mean, I know that I can tell the ages of people that watch me. And I would say the large majority are people 45 to 54, followed by the next one that's older than that. I forget the range, the specific range. I think it's like 54 to 65 maybe. And then like a smaller amount of people my age, which is like, 20, I think it's 20. I don't know what it is. Like 31 to 40 or 45. I don't know, guys. Yes. Rody Gal, I know that you do. Like I said, guys, we need to be respectful of the fact that we don't always know. We don't know who's on the other end of here, guys. We don't. So I've always been introverted too. Yeah, Michelle. So at first, when everything started going down, I was not happy about it, but I was okay with it because I was like, okay, but I was working, so I guess I can't really complain because I did go work every day, like outside of the home, from the very beginning. So I don't know, maybe not, but I was okay with like, I guess not seeing, being able to get out of social obligations really. And, now it's really starting to get with me. That's why I'm on here. It's getting, I don't know, it's even starting to get to me. And, I was talking to somebody I know who's a psychiatrist, and she said that she's swamped because she's like, even people who, have never had like, a mental health problem, or, come for treatment for a mental health problem, like it's getting to people. It's getting to people real badly. So that's why I think YouTube is such an important tool right now, is that a lot of people can come on here and talk. And this is a community and we are a part of it. And you kind of have to be like a good citizen, I guess. And I think there's room for all kinds of things. Like not everybody has to be like, a drama channel. I like drama, but I don't want to do drama that way. So, and people who want to do drama that way can go to another channel that does it like that, or, whatever, like, or you could go to all the channels. You don't have to just be limited to one. I watch a whole lot of things, especially if something's coming up in my, like, suggested, I'll click on it. I'll go in. If I see people I know in the chat, there have been times that I'll hop in there. I mean, you're people. Yeah. Earthbound Spirit. My sister's like that too. And I think that kind of stuff is very hard for her, to not have like, yeah, I've learned how to meet friends online too. And I actually, yeah, Michelle, that's the thing. Like, and it just amazes me. Yeah, there are really good people in this community, Brittany, and I think it gets overlooked a lot. I think that's true in all of the communities, all of them, I think that's really, 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 yeah, it's really good. I think that it gets lost. I think that every, but if you're associated with one creator, it kind of gets translated into automatically bad. And I think that that's not a good way to look at it, because I think that there's good people everywhere, right? Like, we all don't have same opinions. All I ask is that people are respectful and in my chat. And if you don't even have to be respectful wherever else you go if you don't want to, but if you could just be respectful in my chat, that is, your ticket to admission here. Like, I would appreciate it, because Rody Gal actually does some really cool stuff. Like, I met her here, and she lives like 10 minutes from me. Yeah, and she does stuff really interesting for a living, let me tell you. You never know who's behind here, and you literally never ever know who you're talking to either. Like, there's a lot of really smart people on here. There are some people from all sorts of careers. I've met a lot of people. Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. There's like a lot of, I think a lot of the time, like, people get a sense of, people get caught up in here. I don't think it's a reflection necessarily on intelligence, and intelligence comes in many forms, guys. Like, I always feel like, everybody says, I think that there are different types of intelligence. Like, I wouldn't know the first thing how to, fix anything. I don't know. I don't know how to fix a car. I don't know how to fix anything. Karen, come on. We don't need to go down that path, guys. Let's just like agree to disagree on that. It's not like a thing about who's who. I will vouch for Rody Gal. She's a very, very smart woman, and she does everything that she's saying is legit. I mean, I've come to know her pretty well. So can we please, please, I should just close the chat. I mean, I'm on myself, so I don't look good. I like to read what you guys say. Let's see. Oh, cool. Are you in South Dakota, Mike? I was kind of wondering, because I think, were you on someone's panel a while ago, and it looked cold wherever you were. But I don't really, is South Dakota, that's up north too, though, right? I've never been to I can't imagine not being close to the ocean. And it blows my mind that there are people who have never seen the ocean or never seen snow. It's interesting to me. Oh, okay. I've never been there. I've never been there. I've never been to South Dakota. I've never been to North Dakota. I've actually been nowhere near there. So let's see. Who's going to make a joke about that, Gillian? Yeah. And I mean, I graduated college in 2010 with a degree in criminal justice, but obviously I haven't used it for anything. I did for a while. I was starting to get my master's in social work. Because I thought I could help and give back based on my background. But it takes a really special person to do that. And I learned that I couldn't advance like in my career there without getting my master's. And it was just all too much working full time and everything. So I kind of gave up on that. And then I, decided, okay, well, what could I use it for? So I decided I could do loss prevention, because that's kind of criminal justice. And I worked retail through college. So that's kind of my happy place. But I wanted to go to school for marketing to begin with, because I'm super creative. I have really great ideas, and I'm business savvy. I get it. It makes sense in my brain. Not all the numbers. I'm not a numbers person, but that's what I can figure it out enough. So I really enjoyed that. So lately, I was like, what can I do? Because I can't work the way that I used to be able to with my spine injury. But I can do something, right? So I don't want to, not be able to contribute. Because my work was always my identity, always. So when I lost that, it broke me. So it's, I tried to work, it's a whole thing, but regardless, I want to be able to do marketing. And, I was like, you know what, I'm going to give it a shot. And see what happens. I got straight A's last term. I don't think that's going to happen this term. I've been really distracted lately with a lot of stuff going on. So see what I'm saying, though? There's a lot of smart people in here. Like you really are. There's a lot of really interesting people here too. I've met some people that do really interesting things for a living, or have had really interesting life experiences. And is there a hash Velcro? Oh, okay. I get that. I'm probably, I have ADD, like diagnosed. So my brain doesn't always wire correctly. So my smartness doesn't always like come out the way I want it to. It's been like so frustrating my whole life. Like it makes sense in my head, but I have a hard time, being well, there's a word for it I usually say, I can't remember it. I don't always manifest it, or I'm not able to translate it well into real life. Um and it sucks because I wish I could. Like I think I would have had a I don't know. I don't regret anything in my life, honestly. Like it's all gotten me to where I am. So, here we are. Let's see the hashtag. Yeah, I love the ocean. I mean, I live in the ocean state, so yeah, I love the ocean. The ocean is one of my favorite places. I can go to the ocean and I'll just swim by myself. Like I don't care. I did it a few times this summer. I just drove up to Newport, and I just, decided to go in the water, and everybody else is like, with people, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna do this by myself. So I did. I love the ocean. I actually considered going back for marine biology, but then I realized there was probably a lot of science in that, and obviously there's a lot of science in that. I'm sorry, that sounded very stupid. And that's not my forte. I struggled through that. I mean, I actually got through honors bio in college, so I was able to do that. But anything with chemistry and that's like, nope, 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 nope. That's not going to happen. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do marketing because I'm good at it and I've done it. Thank you guys. See, this is what we're here for. This is good. This is good because we really aren't so different, guys. Like we really aren't. That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of us, there's good people in all of these communities. I think that a lot of us have different we're coming from different walks of life. So, if somebody's doing something that you don't agree with, doesn't mean that somebody else, you know what I mean, guys? Like sometimes we're looking at the same behavior, but we see it very differently based on our life experiences. And that's what I want to talk about here because I'm fascinated by that stuff. And I feel like we could work through a lot of this if we can just figure that out, because I don't think there's ever there's sometimes there's a right and a wrong in my opinions, but I think that some things, a lot of stuff that happens here is like miscommunications and things, and I'm not talking about the big issues that we talk about, guys. I'm talking about just some of the things that that people do, or that we do. I'm sorry, I'm a participant in it too, like in chats and stuff. I think that that's a lot of it. Plus you can only write a certain amount of words, so sometimes points get lost, and then you don't, somebody could be having a really bad day and they just see what you wrote and they go off. And I think that that's human. So yeah, I hope this is a good group. The people who come here are just, I like the people that come here, and I see new people every time, and that makes me happy. And I'm not saying that I know that there are people that come in here who can get carried away elsewhere. And I get that because guess what? So do I. So, I want this place to not have that. Does that, you know what I mean, guys? Oh, really? Cheryl? That's awesome. Yeah, right. Although, you know what? I think that the most brilliant people are quirky. Everybody who I've met who's super, super smart is usually either really eccentric or quirky. My uncle is like that. My uncle is very quirky. Really, really smart guy though. Yeah, it does. Things do change very, very quickly, Golden. That's absolutely true. And like I said, I was kind of feeling the other day like the community didn't want me here, just because I was seeing some things that made me kind of disheartened with things. But when push comes to shove, guys, I'm not going to see it that way because people come here, and the people that do come here really like it here. So as long as I'm doing that, because that's what I wanted, guys. I wanted to create a community. That's what I had on my my Instagram community. That's what I built. It was kind of like, I don't want to call it my empire, but kind of was, because I was on all different platforms. I had 129,000 isn't a bad number, for people, and that was just on Instagram. I had several thousand elsewhere on all sorts of platforms. I think Discord. I don't know if my Discord's probably still there. I haven't touched it in a long time, but yeah, even my Facebook still continues to grow, and I haven't posted in 4 or 5 years. People are smart in different ways. Yes, Bryn, exactly. That's like me as well. I have, diagnosed medicated ADHD that's really affected my life. But I try really hard, and it's more difficult sometimes, but I feel like that makes it even more almost worthwhile, it sucks that some people have to put more effort into things that come easily to others. But at the same time, I've always felt really, really accomplished And I know that there are people that have like even more difficulties and, also achieve really great things. So I think that's great. Um, I think that's great. Let's see. Yeah, yeah, I think I'm right. And some people are more like, numbers oriented or, I'm also a musician. So I was always good at like reading, writing. I'm a musician and it comes very easily to me, the music. I always forget that not everybody is musically oriented. So I've tried to teach people guitar and it blows my mind that people can't get the most simple parts of it. But then I have to remind myself that like just because it makes sense to me doesn't mean it makes sense to other people. And other people are able to do math, and I'm basically math illiterate. So, we all have things. Um, I get you, Cheryl. I get you. I kind of raise my voice sometimes. Hi, Tick Turtle Gum. I sometimes raise my voice, but I don't mean to. It's because I can't hear myself. I literally cannot hear myself. So that's probably why. But I do get passionate about things sometimes, but I don't like yelling either. Um, yeah, like I said, there are really, really smart people, and people that would surprise you about their background. You learned to play piano by ear, Nat? That's awesome. I play piano as well. I can read music too, which I feel like is a really a lot of people don't. I'm not saying. I don't know. I've been taking lessons on things since I was 10, and I can do guitar by ear too, right? So I can tune by ear. I can pick up songs. I can dissect pretty much any song that I hear into its form. So like lead guitar, rhythm, bass, anything. I can only hear that thing, and I'm able to. I have a hard time explaining it, but I feel like you get it. That is awesome. That is awesome. His piano playing by ear, that's hard. I struggle with piano, so you know that's really awesome. That's really awesome. I mean, I guess like if you can play guitar, you can play bass. So I don't know if that's too much crossover. But piano is definitely not my best, but I can play it. Yeah, yeah, that right. Some people just really, really get music and they can hear things, and I feel like being able to play a like an instrument, but and really being like really like your brain works that are two different things. I feel like people whose brain don't work that way can learn to play instruments. Um, yeah, right. And I'm Karen, and I am terrible at math. Terrible. So, I didn't get past geometry, honestly. Yeah. So there's that. But I've been able my reading is great. I can write. And I can play music. I can't draw though. I can't draw or paint or anything like that. I can draw a good stick figure, but that's about it. Hold on, guys. I have to mute really quickly. Okay, I'm back. Hey, Melissa Jade. But yeah, so I mean, I just think that there's all sorts of different kinds of intelligence going on. So I always, I'm not too quick to judge people. Like even people who present themselves maybe, and you would, your brain goes to, well, that person's probably not. I don't like. I try not to let my brain go to that. I try because somebody might not be well spoken, but they can fix anything, right? Or the stuff like that. Like I can't fix anything. I wouldn't. If something broke in my house, I wouldn't know I just wouldn't know how to do it. So I'm like, that kind of stuff. Like there are some people that can take apart mechanic, like electronic stuff and put it together. There are people that are really good with computers, and that I just don't understand those things. I think that's because a lot of it has math. But I mean, everybody's brain works differently. We all have things that we're good at. Some people have really good memories. I don't. My short-term memory is crap, so I often forget things that. But I have a good memory for certain things. It depends. If it really catches my interest, I'll remember it forever. But other than that, like I always second guess myself. Like sometimes I'll be like trying to at somebody in a chat, and it goes past their name, and I can't even retain like what their name was for that long. So I guess that I'll admit that I don't care. Yeah. Let's see. And I think that also like I think well we're getting a lot of fun bots today, huh? Look at those. I don't think I've gotten those kinds before. Yeah. Yeah, math is not my best. I had to take one math class in college, and I barely passed. But I did. I think I got a B, but I know that's not barely, but I had to work really hard at it. I had to like see a tutor every day. Um, oh, Kelly, yeah, I'm sorry. That definitely has got to be really rough. So I guess, it could, for me, I'm grateful then. I'm grateful that, I'm grateful that I have what I have. Like I spent a long time being miserable and thinking that my life was over after my spine injury. And the truth is that, I can still do a lot. I had to relearn how to live my life differently, but I have it really good. Um, I have nothing to complain about. I have a roof over my head. I have food to eat. I have heat. I have all of that stuff. I have a family that loves me, and I can't complain. And I have a lot of health problems, but I don't have them as bad as some people. So I think that a lot of I lost sight of that, and I wish I hadn't. I wish I hadn't, because a lot of people like to feel sorry for themselves a lot and complain a lot, and I've really tried to cut back on that because when all is said and done, I have everything I need. So I can't complain about it. And I have you guys. Exactly. I have this channel. I have my Hive. Um, Balance a checkbook, really? Yeah, I used to in classes, like I took a typing class. I think that, I don't even think they do home economics anymore. I don't think they do that. I took woodworking, I took mechanical drawing of all things. I only wanted to balance a checkbook too. Like when am I going to use what was it that was just ridiculous, like learning to play a recorder. I'm sorry, that probably might be useful, the gateway into things like that. But there were some things that I learned in school that I'm like, why am I learning this when I could be learning life skills? I really feel like kids should be learning life skills. I think that's really important, and I think like life skills on all fronts too. That's why that's why I think that like the technical schools are a really great thing for a lot of kids, because it gets you going into a career, especially when college isn't for everybody, and college is quite expensive. So I think that there are some really good options out there, and I feel like it's the people in those jobs that are making the money right now. Not so much those of us with a college education. I feel like it used to be different. I feel like a college degree used to mean a lot more than it does. From what I've heard, from like my parents and everything. But whatever. It is what it is. I think it was still a great opportunity for me. Yeah, homeschool. Yep. 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 Let me tell you, I considered it. I considered it. So, and schools aren't always that great anymore, guys, either. Like, I can tell you right now, the one that's local to me isn't great. I feel like there's more like, teachers breaking up fights than there are learning. Like, there is learning going on, unfortunately. But I mean, like, that's not fair to the kids. There are kids graduating who don't have like a it's a bad situation, guys. And I've been hearing it a lot lately, but I don't think that, teachers are paid quite enough for what they're doing. It's complicated, guys. It's crazy times we're living in. Yes, hot cross buns. I'm sure my parents wanted to die when I was playing that. Yeah, Liberty. Like you feel kind of stuck. There's not like a lot of options. Like, like private schools, even there, I mean, those are expensive, and the public schools, depending on where you live, like some people have good public schools. I mean, I don't think they're bad everywhere, but they're bad a lot of places. I mean, I went to public school briefly, very briefly, and it was actually a good experience for me. Yeah, bullying at local high schools is out of control. It is, and I think that's very common everywhere, Lori. They are. Hi, RJ. Yeah, life skills are important. A lot of kids don't know how to balance a checkbook. You're absolutely correct there. You're absolutely correct. Yeah, bullying is really bad, and it doesn't stop when kids go home either. Like, I mean, as we know, cyberbullying is very real, and kids are horrid to each other these days, and it's insane. and because kids need their electronics for school now, so it's not like you can just take them away and be like, you can't have privilege. My parents would take away my computer privileges if I had ever behaved like that. Like that would be it. I didn't have a cell phone until like much later on. But it's really funny. My parents actually thought texting wasn't going to catch on. So my parents were always saying that, texting was, gimmicky and it wasn't going to last. And now they text more than I do. So I always thought that was funny. Side note. It would be in detention a lot. Yeah, me too. I don't think my parents worked a lot. So I spent most of my time, in after school programs and things. Because my dad traveled a lot and my mom also worked a lot. So, yeah, I mean, we spent time together. Don't get me wrong, but like after school and stuff. Yeah, tech is the future, and the kids need to have exposure. That's right. And they have to have their Chromebooks or their laptop or a smartphone, and unfortunately, with those things comes access to social media. Or else how to block all of that stuff, which good luck. I know some people I've seen in chats have said they've done it successfully, but I mean, I don't know. So it's like it's a double-edged sword, but that means that they're just exposed to this all the time. And it gets pretty bad. Really? Oh my God, Golden. You know what I was listening to the other day that I was watching videos about, I can't stand TikTok. I know that that's an unpopular opinion. I don't like the fact that anybody could be watching things. But there was a challenge, right? And it was, you would steal stuff from schools. Like people were tearing apart their schools, stealing different things. It was like the devious lick challenge, whatever that means. I don't know what that means. I was like, what on earth? That sounds like it might as well be a foreign language to me. But like literally, it was a competition to see who could steal. And somebody stole an entire row of sinks. People were stealing toilets. Like it's awful. Oh my God. I was like, kids actually do that? Like it's stealing projectors, stealing desks, chairs, everything. And the whole contest was they banned it on TikTok. They banned the hashtag. And then they changed it to like angelic something, and it was people giving back to the school. So people were bringing toilet paper back to the school. It was weird. I was like, okay, that I like that, but it was crazy. Like, and it gets encouraged because like we've seen here, guys, people get caught up really easily and stuff, and kids are even more impressionable. At least as adults, like our frontal lobes of our brains are developed, so we can, navigate these things a little bit better. But the kids, they can't do that. So they see their friends doing that stuff on TikTok, and they feel really pressured to do that. And it was nuts. Apparently, it was a big problem. I had never heard about it, but apparently, it was a big problem in a lot of schools. I think TikTok is problematic. Personally. I am not on TikTok. Well, I am technically. I posted like one video because I actually didn't know how to make videos any other way, like 2 years ago. So, it's crazy. Yeah, Golden, I'm gonna agree with you. Yeah. Because that's the thing though. It's because the milk crate challenge. That's right. I saw, it was it might have been in Georgia. It was like a senator or something who wrote, we are, before you attempt the milk crate challenge, like go call your local hospital and make sure they have a bed ready for you before you decide to, take that away from somebody else who needs it. And it's true. Some of these things on TikTok are dangerous. There was one with drinking Benadryl, guys. That one's scary. Like, it's like, apparently they're telling people, like, people literally are drinking Benadryl, like the liquid one, entire bottles of it. Yeah, so that's dangerous. Yeah, Nat, I agree with you. Like, I feel like it's an unpopular opinion because people are like, adults, we enjoy TikTok, but I don't watch, if I watch it at all, it's like dogs and like cat stuff and some funny like skits and stuff, but it never involves children. But you don't know who's watching that. And have you seen some of these dances? Like, I wouldn't be comfortable with my child personally. So, Morals have gone out the window, RJ. You're in the cinnamon challenge. Yes. And RJ, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I feel like there's a lot of stuff like that going on, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. I mean, I feel like I'm young, so I feel like I'm the last person who should be addressing these kinds of things, but I see it too. My generation, we didn't have this. I mean, I had MySpace my senior year of high school was when that came out. And you couldn't even have a Facebook without a college email, like a verified college email. And then they opened it up to everybody. And there we go. So, I feel like social media has been a blessing and a curse. I feel like it's allowed us to do a lot of things, but it's also opened some doors to some behavior. And when people are behind a profile picture, like a lot of people don't use their pictures because they don't want to, and that's totally fine. I get that. I don't always use my picture. And people don't, you kind of dehumanize people behind there. They forget that there's an actual human being behind it. I feel that effect. Like, I would never say some of the things that I have said on here. I would think it, but I would never say it, right? Because I know better. I know better. Or else you really piss me off. I do have a temper. I'm nice until I'm not. So, but I don't want to bring that on here. I don't want to bring that. Yeah, MySpace music. That's right. That's right. I had that too. And it would always be such a struggle to pick which music I wanted to have. Like, just in case the boy I liked, happened to click on my MySpace page. What a time to be alive. Yeah, there's like a lot of weird stuff online now. And I've heard horror stories. Like, I actually watch videos on YouTube about like the weird stuff, and I don't even keep up with that because like I don't like surf through Facebook Live. I've heard there's some weird stuff you can run onto on that. Yeah, RJ. I remember when internet was just a white screen with text on it. In fact, when my first introduction was, my parents had a family over like for dinner, and their son, was talking about surfing the web, and I had no idea what that meant. And at that point in time, my parents, like, because I kept asking about it because I wanted it, because he was showing me some like weird games, and my parents were like, the internet is something only rich people have. And I was like, okay. I took that as fact, I guess. And I was like, okay, and my parents, I don't know why they said that, because my parents are they're quite well off. So I don't really, now that I know that, but I guess, but my parents are really modest, and they're really kind of frugal. So they've worked really hard their whole lives, and a lot of it has gone like, they're not materialistic, and they didn't raise us that way. Like, we didn't do gifts in the holidays. We donated to like local group homes. We sponsored a particular group home. It wasn't like that for me growing up. I had a very different kind of family, which I think has benefited me in some way. But we're definitely not materialistic. So, but I remember like my dad happened to get internet, and I remember like I clicked on it, and there was like, actual color once, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And I never looked back, and then I lived on the internet. Yeah. And it's never too late to go back to school, Gladys. That's absolutely right. I mean, if you're not happy where you are, let me tell you guys, life is too short. If you're not happy with what you're doing, it is never too late to start. I thought I was even too old to do it, and I'm not, like we only get this life. And like we all know, and a lot of us have unfortunately seen, life, you don't know when it's your last day. So, like I've had to explain this to somebody over and over again. I'll be like, drive safely, and they're like, I'll be fine. If it's snowing, I'm like, nobody hops in their car and it's like, I'm going to get in an accident today. Like, that's not how it works. Nobody goes out expecting to have that happen. I know that's kind of morbid. I'm sorry, guys. But, that's how I live my life. I don't want to, I was waiting for something to happen. And, if I wait forever, I'm just going to be spending my life waiting. And it was time to do something. So, yeah, there's, I got tired. Gladys, I totally get that. And sometimes I felt really pressured to go into what I went to college for. I was trying to please my family, because I didn't have a very good relationship with them at the time. So, I did that, trying to fit in a little bit more. And because at the time, it was like 2006. So, telling my parents I wanted to go into business in 2006 was like not acceptable to them. That was a gamble. That was whatever. So, I mean, I guess that all happened in 2008, I guess. Like, I mean, you know what I mean. But I wish I had, because then I would have had a foundation that I could have moved forward. But right, Kellyanne, you're right. And I mean, I know that it's a very different thing, but my spine injury did something similar to my brain. I used to take everything for granted, like, and I thought my life was over. I'm digital marketing, RJ. Um, I thought my life was over. I had to relearn how to. I told you it was very humbling to go from pretty much never seeing my parents to having to move back in with them because I could not take care of myself. Like, I could not put my shoes on or my socks. I couldn't. I needed help to get down, to move. And it's crazy. It was really, really humbling, and I had to fix my relationship with them is much better. So, you know, it's true. It's true. Like, it's never too late to do things. It's never too late. And I figured, at one point, and I was broken. I was at the lowest point. I was like, why do I even do anything anymore? Like, my work always, always, always defined me. And when that was taken away from me, I'm determined to. I probably shouldn't have been working. Like, I think I have a condition called arachnoiditis, which is really bad inflammation. It's a progressive spine disease. But it doesn't always progress. You know what I mean? Like, the end goal of it is losing your ability to walk. But if you take precautions, you can stop it. I'm kind of slowly losing the use of one of my legs. It gives out from time to time, and I mean, it's embarrassing. I'm very young, so. But it is what it is. So I do everything in my power to keep it at bay. And you know what? In my lifetime, it's very possible that it doesn't progress. It really depends. I also have a lot of scar tissue. I have another disc that needs to be removed, but I didn't react well to the first surgery. I need a fusion. It's bad. It's bad. So, I'm in pain all the time, and it does humble you, Kellyanne. And you feel it gives you another perspective, especially like. It does. And honestly, I think I'd rather have a spine injury than have but I'm glad that you're I'm glad that you're here with us. I am terrified of that, but it's people like you and are inspiring to me. It's inspiring that people can be strong and happy and all of that despite what's going on in their lives. And I feel like a lot of people, sometimes would do well to remember their blessings. I feel like a lot of blessings get lost. You lose track of it. I'm guilty of it too. I get really caught up in my own head. I try, Golden. I've had a really interesting life. I've been told I should write a book, and I might. A lot of people don't believe me when I've said all the things, but like, it's true. Like, I've had a really interesting, different life. But I wanted to be normal. So not that I wasn't normal, but I always felt like I had missed out on a lot of stuff. But yeah, RJ, I think I've heard you on some other panels. So I mean, like I said, like, I can't imagine that either. So you've definitely had to. You're not a stranger to anything like having difficulties with things. I think that's awesome that people find ways to, have a meaningful life, like, regardless of what they're struggling with. I see a lot of people in the chats that have, disabilities of one sort or another, but they don't consider it like a disability. Like, they don't let it stop them. I've seen a couple people. I don't see them in here today, but I think that's really, 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 really good. I feel like a lot of people give up with things. You have a childless family. Yeah, Gladys. Yeah. It's the rent is awful. Yeah, guys. I am very, very blessed to have the roof I have over my head, and I don't take it for granted. That's for sure. Yeah, you do. You move forward, and you're able to. Yeah, I think that's inspiring. I do, and I like people's stories like that. I like that people come into my chat and they share those stories, and they're able to they're able to share them. I'm honored that people feel safe enough to honor them. To honor, I am losing my mind, to share their stories, because a lot of us have had some interesting lives. I'll tell you that. I tell you that there's some really cool people that, are in this community, and in a lot of the different chats that I've been in. There's some really, really smart people. Like I've said, they're really, certainly really kind people. Um, and there are definitely, I know people can do better. Um, but here's the thing. Like, if people are going to behave a certain way, they're going to behave a certain way. But all I ask is that, like, in my chat, it gets kept to a minimum, just so if like people need a break from all of that, they have a place to go. Because I don't want to, like, drama shame anybody. Like, I come here for it too. I watch the drama. I think drama can be done right. There's definitely a market for it. People enjoy it. So I just think that lately it's gotten, usually the drama would get really intense for like a week or two, and then it would kind of die down, or people would make amends, or people would move on from that. And lately it's just been a constant, and I'm like kind of tired of it personally. And thank you, Rody Gal. I appreciate that. I try my very best every single day, and that's all I can do. Sometimes I don't, sometimes I don't get much done, and I have to accept that sometimes I have really bad pain days, and I can't do all the things I want to do. Yeah. Yeah, Kellyanne, I appreciate I appreciate that you feel that way. It's great. That's what I want. Because a lot of us are on here because a lot of people want to talk. A lot of people want to talk about their stories. I don't think that's selfish. I don't think that's self-centered or making anything about you. Like, sometimes that's what people need to talk about. That, sometimes I want to talk. I don't always want to talk about it. In fact, like, I debated even presenting myself like that on here, honestly. Because I like to present myself as having things together. You know what I mean? I always try to put like a professional self forward, just because that's what I'm used to. But I've realized there's nothing wrong with having differences from people. There's nothing wrong with having struggles. There's nothing wrong with that, and I shouldn't be ashamed of that. And if me having issues like that can, like, make somebody else feel like they're not alone, that's my age especially, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So I am 100% here for it. Then I'll have done my job. But we're having a really good conversation, but it's like after 11, I need to eat dinner and I need to go to bed because I got to get up relatively early tomorrow to get my homework done. And, I think it's the Super Bowl tomorrow. I'm not into football, but if you're into football, enjoy the Super Bowl. I'm not a fan, but it's okay. I'll watch the Super Bowl. I mean, it's usually got good commercials, right? I think that's what it is. I don't know. It's fun. So I'll probably watch it. I don't know who everybody's rooting for. I kind of let other people tell me who I'm rooting for. So apparently I'm rooting for the Bengals. So I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion here. I know nothing. I know nothing about any of that. So don't judge me too harshly. I go with what the house wants. I actually don't think anybody in my house has a particular opinion on it. We have Patriots fans. So, and Patriots fans are very, very loyal and very outspoken. So, your cat is waiting for my cats are outside the door. Chicory is outside the door, at least, meowing, because he probably wants more wet food. Because wet food is my cat Chicory can't eat dry food right now, so I have to give him wet food. But usually it's my other cat that's like like, he usually just has his dry food. But but whatever, he benefits from Chicory not being able to eat that. But you don't do Valentine's either. I don't either. I don't know. I feel like chocolate's gotten worse too over time. Like, I don't even like the Russell Stovers or any. I feel like it's gross. I don't like it. So I mean, oh, thank you, Liberty Farmer. Yeah, I actually got a and like I said, I appreciate everybody who's donated to that thus far. There have been some people with some really, really, really generous to me with that, and I cannot thank people enough. I'm actually at a point where I would be comfortable calling to make his appointment, because I'm gonna figure it out. and I owe it all to really, really generous people on here. So I can't thank people enough. Because I think that I'll be able to get to where I need to be. Because I'm sure it'll be like a month out because they're all really busy. And I tried the lower cost vets, and oh my god, like they're like, well, we could probably get you in like August. And I'm like, yeah, well, Chicory can't wait that long. So, I'm gonna put aside my pride and my, you know, being called a hypocrite, because you can call me a hypocrite for it. That's fine. I open myself up to that, but you know, I don't know why people are so mad about the Cash App, and I don't know. I don't particularly have an issue with that per se. I have an issue with other things like PayPal pools, but we don't need to talk about that right now. We don't need to talk about that. That's for another day. I don't think there's anything wrong with having a Cash App, because I feel like that's tipping a creator that you enjoy, but there's no pressure to do it. You have no obligation to. But technically you don't have to tip at a restaurant either, or anything like that, or anywhere. I always tip really well if I can, because I like people being happy. When I get my hair done, I'm not talking about YouTube, guys. YouTube is very different. YouTube is just, people are very generous on here, and I'm surprised and amazed by that, and I think it's great. I do. I don't have a problem with that. So I don't know why people make such a big deal about the Cash App in the about section or whatever. Like, a lot of us don't push it. We don't drop the links all the time. I think then there's a threshold, I think. Yeah. Oh god. You're not a golem like troll. I don't think you're a golem like troll. Yeah, Mike, I was wondering why Cash App was the thing. I didn't actually have a Cash App until maybe a few weeks ago, because everybody wanted to send through Cash App, and I don't know why. It's definitely the preferred. I think for PayPal, it might be because my personal email is on that, and I can't change that. I don't care though. Like, whatever. If people want to email me to my, like, I'm not going to see it. I get so much junk mail on that. Like, if you email like B plus, I will see it. I have not checked my email in a little while, so bear with me. I might check it tonight. It's been a few days. I've needed a break. So, but yeah, PayPal, and I had never used Cash App. Cash App looks weird too. It's like a black screen with just like really digital looking writing. Like, Venmo looks more fun. But whatever floats your boat. I've heard that people feel more secure. Oh, you can put any name you want on Cash App. All right, that makes sense then. That makes sense. Yeah, and PayPal you can't do that. I tried to make it B plus, but I couldn't. But yeah, I've only ever used PayPal to pay money. So, I figured I didn't even want to put it on here, but it is what it is. PayPal can take away my own balance. Yeah. Oh yeah, Michelle, I'll send that. I have to send that to you. That's not your fault. You don't have it. So, there's no judgment on that. If you don't have it, then Cash App is USA only. Okay. Yeah, man. I mean, this is all new to me. I had no clue how any of this worked until then. But I figured, I don't know. I've ranted about how I feel about that before, and I mean, if you've watched any of my other lives, you know my opinion on monetization, and you know my reasoning for it. Because I think there's a place for that too. So yeah, Karen, definitely. That is really respectable. So definitely. So I'm gonna get off of here, but I am, you know what I am? I'm gonna go check my email. And I'm gonna respond to some people, because I've read some people's emails, but I haven't responded because I write novels. So I have to like commit to sitting down to do it. And sometimes I don't know. I'm gonna do that. I have some time tonight. But yes, guys, I'm gonna say goodnight to you guys. I'm gonna go eat my dinner, go to bed. If I come on tomorrow night, it's gonna be probably like 9:30 or so. But we'll see. If the Super Bowl is still going on, I don't know. I'll probably be watching that. And being a good friend. But All right, guys, I'm going to say goodnight. I hope everybody enjoyed the live. So don't forget to hit that thumbs up, guys. And if you have not subscribed to me, if you want to hit that subscribe button, I would love to have you here. And I will talk to you guys next time. Have a great night and stay safe on those YouTube streets.